Hey everyone, how's it going? So we're back with some more Explorer and Pioneer content, and today we are playing some Greasefang, back in our more traditional Abzan colours for Greasefang, which was the most popular version of this deck for quite a long time. So unsurprisingly, Aetherdrift being a quite vehicles-heavy set, this has added a couple of new additions to the deck that we can try. So there is Thundering Broodwagon, which is a 6-mana vehicle, 6/5 with Menace and Reach, and when it enters, destroy target non-land permanent an opponent controls with mana value 4 or less, crew of 3. And it also has cycling of 2, so it very handily puts itself into the graveyard for Greasefang shenanigans, but also acts as a removal spell whenever it enters the battlefield. So could potentially do that several times if we are playing Greasefang, returning this to the battlefield, bouncing it back to our hand, cycling it again, and doing kind of all the good stuff there. We've also got Valor's Flagship, which is one of the mythic vehicles from Aetherdrift. 7/7 for 7, flying first right lifelink, crew of 3, and also cycling for X, 2 and a white. And when you cycle this card, you create X/1/1 colorless pilot creature tokens with this token saddles mounts and crews vehicles as though its power were 2 greater, and you can do a similar kind of thing given that this also puts itself into the graveyard, which is a neat little addition to the vehicles that this deck already uses, which in this particular case we still have 2 copies of Parheilion, still probably the best vehicle to be reanimating because those 2 angel tokens stick around afterwards, and because this is a deck running green, 4 copies of Esika's Chariot, great reanimation target with Greasefang, but also quite easy to hardcast by itself. Obviously also comes with tokens which stick around. So yeah, they've all of these vehicles in different ways have kind of playability with what the Greasefang model is trying to do. So yeah, those are relatively high density of vehicles with 10, but as I say, one of them, the Esika's Chariot, is actually quite easy to hardcast, so it doesn't matter too much if we have this in our hand without a Greasefang. And then the rest of the deck is kind of the combo enablers. So we've got Overlord of the Balemerc, which is a great way of putting things into the graveyard, getting a creature into our hand from the 4 cards that we mill, and this will slowly tick down and turn into a threat by itself. Also, Cash Grab does a similar kind of thing, milling 4 cards. Dredger's Insight also does that. Raffine's Informant being a cheap early creature which can kind of hold off the opponent while you kind of build up to do our thing, and Conniving when it enters means we get to discard a card. Yeah, and then we've just got some interaction as well, so Thoughtseize, a good early hand disruption if we feel like the opponent has anything which might interfere with what we're doing. Bitter Triumph, obviously a great removal spell that also has a discard outlet attached to it. Liliana of the Veil, again, similarly, a card which can act as removal, but also allows us to discard cards from our own hand. Glisser is a great little mid-range creature, very hard for the opponent to block. It can draw us extra cards, destroy opposing enchantments, particularly good in the kind of meta full of overlords. And then we do have 1 copy of Honest Rutstein, which I don't think is a card we've used before, but a legendary 3/2. When it enters, you can return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand, and creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, so we can potentially get one of our Greasefangs back, or whatever it is we really want, as we will be putting a lot of cards into our graveyard, is kind of the idea. Then our mana base, pretty self-explanatory, quite a lot of the fast lands, unsurprisingly, given that this deck is largely doing things at 1, 2, and 3 mana. Some Shock Lands, 1 each of our basic land types, just because we do want to be reliably hitting all of those as much as we can. And then a Takenuma and a Boseiju as well. Takenuma particularly good in a deck like this for bringing back one of our Greasefangs or whatever it may be. Then in the sideboard, this hasn't reordered itself, but never mind. So Fatal Push, obviously great removal spell, so is Abrupt Decay and Vanishing Verse. We have Damping Sphere for shutting down those annoying Lotus Fields and cards like that. Night of Autumn is good anti-aggro technology, as well as being a bit of targeted removal. Unlicensed Terse is Graveyard Hate, which comes in vehicle form and also doesn't affect our own graveyard. And then Temporary Lockdown, again, sort of very good at dealing with those decks which are trying to kill us very, very quickly. Doesn't affect most of our permanents. And yeah, that is the sideboard. So I'll just quickly reorder that because, I'm quite OCD about these things. Okay, so that's the deck. Abzan Greasefang, a couple of new cards from Aether Drift, which we will try out. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. As ever, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And let's go on to the ladder. Yeah, this is a pretty good hand. It doesn't have any of our kind of big payoff cards, but we definitely have ways of finding those. Spyglass Siren. Okay, well, we have the potential for a turn 3 here, depending on what Overlord mills. No vehicles. So we'll have a backup Greasefang, in which case. Yep, not hugely fussed about losing either of those. There's a Valor's Flagship. So pass the turn. No ninjutsu going on here, which is fine. I will cash grab instead. Take an Overgrown Tomb. So we are getting there with this stuff. We'll pop a Dredger's Insight into play as well. That's fine. Yeah, we'll have Glisser back. And the Dredger's Insight gaining us a little bit of life is pretty nice here. Okay, Moon Circuit Hacker is good. It will draw them a card, but it is not Kaito, which is the main thing. Okay, well, they are certainly doing some stuff. Thundering Broodwagon can potentially be good at some point. Get another Raffine's Informant down. Discard. Put Glisser into play. So our Overlord is slowly ticking up. And another land. I'm fine with them drawing land. Less fine with that. Right. Fiend. Another Overlord. So let's attack with both of these. So that'll come back. Get Overlord number 2 down. And we'll pop back one of our Greasefangs. We'll gain a life. I mean, they're drawing all the cards in the world. Just a question of whether they can actually use any of them. I need to be a little careful with my library here. Okay, more cards. Why not? Yeah, Spyglass Siren, fine. Yeah, that's okay. That means a surviving Greasefang. Because they don't have any black mana. And there's a backup as well. So, I'll bring back the Broodwagon, I think, this turn. Destroy Enduring Curiosity. Through it with Greasefang. So if I attack an attack, I'm reliant on my Rafine's Informant to not die, which is not good, so I think we can only attack with just the one. So that'll go back in our hand. I think that was a bit premature. So, the Dimir mid-range deck, I feel like we want Fatal Push, we want Temporary Lockdown. What am I less fussed about? Thoughtseize, I think. Possibly on the draw, it's okay. I think Liliana could go. The Broodwagon, all of their stuff is a little bit too sort of dirtly and not huge amounts of value. So I'll get rid of that. 3 more cuts to make. Yeah, maybe I am just getting rid of Thoughtseize. Feel like I've got enough other interaction. Yeah, I feel like our opponent conceded too quickly there. They still potentially had quite a reasonable path to lethal. I mean, my Broodwagon would have slowly ground them out the game, but it would have taken a while. Maybe they're not coming back. Skip ahead to the timer nearly running down. Oh well. Oh, I like this mouse character. He seems fun. Yeah, this hand is okay. It's not the best. So, we're facing a mirror Abzan deck, which I assume is kind of the more traditional build of Greasefang, based on what they've got here with Traverse. Cash grab at instant speed. I mean, I'll put Greasefang back, but they will get rid of it, which is fine. I've got plenty of ways of getting creatures back from the graveyard. Now, they're not in a position for Greasefang next turn, so I think I'll just get Glisser down. Okay. Draw a card. Ooh, Esika's Chariots, fun. I'm just going to chill on Thoughtseize again. I shall play Overlord. Hold up Bitter Triumph. Very good. Okay, game 1 to us. So, in the mirror match, I think, obviously we want Unlicensed Hearse. Abrupt Decay is good instant speed removal. Fatal Push does not hit Greasefang unless you have a way to trigger Revolt, unfortunately. Vanishing Verse is good at dealing with some of the vehicles, so we'll put that in. Thoughtseize is just okay, but I think worth keeping when we're on the draw. Bitter Triumph is obviously great. Again, I feel bad for the Broodwagon, but I think that's going to have to come out. Glisser can come out. What else? What else? Yeah, Liliana as well. Don't really want to give them the option to discard cards. Not true, one Overlord as well, as we are kind of playing quick fire magic. What do my opponents keep giving up? Is it something I said? See if we can actually get past game 1 in this match. Not with that hand. Or with that one, indeed. She fit a bit. Okay. Well, save us, Overlord. You're our only hope. Azorius control. I don't like it. Go away, get lost, I think, is the best option here, so that our Overlord can not die straight away. And a swing and a miss. Well, that just makes me feel marvellous. Fiend's Informant and no way to play it. True sadness on the stack. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Someone can just do what they like here, really. And a guy reached Sanitarium. Oh. That is rough.
Anyone who harms my people must contend with me.
See, I would kill the Emperor, but Teferi is coming next turn, and that's worse.
May your blade strike true.
Okie dokie. Good to see you, Teferi. So let's kill Teferi, discarding Chariot. Okay, well... I mean, it's got to be worth a try, I suppose. No counterspell? There's no need for one. I mean, they can always march it away. It's not a huge deal, but... Yes, they're looking at my graveyard. I have a Thunder and Broodwagon. Oh, thanks.
I'm never done for good.
So I'll send this at the opponent. For why? Well, I suppose if you've got a Wrath next turn, that on some level makes sense. Why did they...
You started.
Why did they do that double block?
I'm going to end
I am
it.
confused.
For hurting my people.
Well, let's take down... Hello, what's going on here? Let's take down the Wandering Emperor. Ooh, another Greasefang. That's fun, isn't it? Well, the game's just slightly broken itself over there, but that's fine. Just ignore it. Valor's Flagship in the graveyard. Say go. I mean, we always have to be worried about farewell, I suppose. Yep. Okay, Parheilion is not the worst thing in the world. I'll play a Greasefang. Never quite got over that early stumble, unfortunately. The fact that cycling this also draws a card is very tasty. No, they're not having that. I'm kind of just playing this out now. I think they've pretty much turned the corner on us, which is not surprising. Did stumble pretty badly early in the game. Okay. So we don't have a huge number of great answers for control. Really, the plan is to just go under them. I will put in Vanishing Verse. And I'll take out Liliana. Yeah, I think the plan is to just win before they can stop us. Okay, this is better than having to mulligan to 5. So, I think once again, let's get Overlord of the Bale Merc down. Okay, Parheilion gives us potential for a turn 3. How am I going to play into it, I think, is the question. I don't think I actually need to. I could just play Rafine's Informant. Yeah, that was the right thing to do. Our Overlord is ticking away. Well, isn't this interesting? Well, I mean, we might as well start, I suppose. We got 3 copies of Greasefang to get through. Yeah, that's fine. Question now is whether they think I'm... And they do, which is good news. I can see why they chose to take that risk. Oh, look, there's the 4th copy of Greasefang. But it hasn't worked out for them. Okay, well, that was a pretty easy game 2. Now we're going to be on the draw, which does make life more difficult. So Liliana can go back in, or they will have card disadvantage on us from the start. One Broodwagon can come out. I feel bad for Broodwagon. It just has not come up in. It's just not had great matchups. You know, you want a kind of mid-rangey deck for it to be doing its best work. I think this is fine. It's not the best hand, but it's fine. Double Esika's Chariot, you say? Yes, waste your mana. Waste it! Ha ha ha! I shan't be wasting mine. Cool, cool. Nice. Right. I'll draw. We'll get a Chariot in the bin. And now we'll chill and wait. What am I doing here? I think let's get Chariot number 2 into play, if we can. And indeed we can. So they might have Emperor here. No Memory Deluge, that is fine. I mean, if they follow up with a Verdict, I don't hate it. Because I do get to land Greasefang and have Bitter Triumph. And do some sort of double Chariot chicanery. They are 1 turn away from Farewell, which we are going to have to worry about. And I constantly worry about it. I never stop worrying about it. So crew up the chariot. Go to attack. Now they will have some sort of answer here, which may well be the Wandering Emperor. Okay. Well, in which case, go ahead. I'm in no hurry. No use for 5 mana, you say? If I get farewelled here, I will be upset. Seems quite likely. If they're not... yeah. Not doing anything else. So I'll put Glycerin to play. Do I want to cash grab now while they're tapped out? Stop doing that! I wonder if it's... Has that been both times they farewelled? I wonder if farewell's bugged or something. Let's cash grab now while they're tapped out. Get back Liliana. Good thing is they did have to exile their own memory deluge. You know, you take what victories you can. Nothing, eh? Nothing doing. Okie dokie.
Happy to help, but I'm tired of your secrets.
Another march. That's fine. I mean, I would quite like a vehicle that I could draw and put in the graveyard. Okay, Teferi at least will die to bitter triumph.
I'm known for my excellent timing. I'll have a better plan next time. Let's skip to the good part.
Don't hate Thoughtseize as an option. Be deciding whether to counter this. Yep. 3 steps ahead is quite good actually, because it lets me get down Greasefang. Sadly, it has no targets.
You won't be outsmarting me.
I am ripping through the hand quite effectively. I mean, it's still got 3 cards. Okay, well there goes my graveyard, I suppose. Kind of served its purpose in this match. Okay, we're getting towards potentially ultimating Liliana, which will be...
Drop it.
So what was that? That was a march. Yeah,
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa.
I think that was a risk worth taking.
You're done. new moves to teach you.
Well, as long as they haven't got a threat against Liliana, I will just... Okay. I'll just tick her up again and make them discard one of the cards they just put in their hand.
Tired of your secrets.
Can't really see what's going on, unfortunately, with this farewell bug.
We must protect the people.
Nice. Chariot into play. Ultimate Liliana. So we'll put the token and the rest in peace in one category, along with those two and this white land. And what they choose to do will be quite instructive as to what they have in their hand. Oh, you don't get to do this very often. So they kept the Emperor. Well, that's fine. So this has one loyalty, so it can't create a token without dying. Which they're going to do anyway. It's fine by me.
Keep watch for intruders.
We don't have double white. Let's pick apart their hand again. Yeah, so they did have another Emperor, but not able to keep it. So
Don't overthink.
we're pretty much on course to win here. Crew. Copy a cat, which gives us a blocker to protect Liliana. They can't cast Verdict if they draw it. That was fun. I enjoyed that. It was very back and forth. And we nicely get into Platinum from that as well. Good match, that. So yeah, that was... Oh god, we got a lot of packs to buy. Yeah, so that was Abzan Greasefang. So let's just take a look at... Let's get a couple of mythic packs as we have the gold from completing one of our mastery levels. And we get a golden pack as well. God, it's a bonanza of pack opening you'll get to witness. Won't that be exciting for you all? Ether Drift. Normal. Not Squad Heavy. And other cards from this set. Ketramos, yes, we must try that at some point. And and another Gear Hulk, and the Golden Pack is what we're all here for. Oh, 3 mythics. Marvin, Jasper Flint. Yeah, this one you feel like should be a good card. I mean, it's incredibly aggressively costed. Another Royal Deep Gear Hulk. So yeah, some decent pulls there. So as requested by viewer feedback, so I'll do a little bit more analysis at the end. So I think this was a powerful Greasefang build. Shame we didn't get to see Valor's Flagship do a huge amount. But Thundering Broodwagon did a little, destroyed a couple of cards. Yeah, so these are all good vehicles. Whether they justify not playing 4 copies of Parheilion, well, that's the kind of question. Esika's Chariot is a great vehicle if you are running green in this deck. Now, there is a question as to whether, like, Mardu, Abzan, Esper is the best build of Greasefang at the moment. I think Esika's Chariot does point you towards green. It is just a great vehicle. Yeah, some other good I mean, Overlord was great, it always is. Liliana, we managed to ultimate Liliana. Now, that doesn't happen very often, but it is a good, particularly if you're on the draw against something like Control and you can get it under a counter spell. Being able to just kind of have that additional card advantage on the opponent is pretty good. Bitter Triumph, great removal spell. Cash Grab, and these kind of Dredge's Insight actually was pretty good. That life gain was not unimportant, that kind of incidental life gain for stuff entering or leaving your graveyard, rather. Now, unfortunately, you can't do instant speed, which does kind of, because it almost does exactly the same thing as Cash Grab, but obviously it's sorcery speed, which does make it a bit weaker, but that life gain was quite important. Didn't get to see Rutstein, unfortunately. Glisser, great as ever. Yeah, no, not bad, not bad. I feel like this could be tinkered with. Perhaps you only need the 1 copy of Valor's Flagship, and you could have kind of, because it is quite a lot of vehicles. 10 vehicles is quite a lot in a Greasefang deck. You could potentially have some more interaction, or another Glisser or something like that. Sideboard cards, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward sideboard. So yeah, no, I was impressed. Interesting build of Abzan Greasefang. We'll see how the kind of deck and the Greasefang strategy as a whole develops as people get more used to Aether Drift. But here's the deck list one more time, and it'll be in the comments, so let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.